Okay, welcome everyone, and we thank God that we drove. Finally, we are in Minneapolis, and we will be hosting Honorable Chersia Grant in a little bit. And so, those of you who want to join us, especially by the time we go live in Grand Gedeh, we'll let you know so you can join us. And this is me and Representative Chersia Grant today, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time for all of us. Therefore, we want you to stay tuned. We want you to stay tuned and be with us as we go through today's program. We'll be hosting Honorable Chersia Grant today, and so those of you who are all over the United States, Grand Gedeans all over, who are willing, are waiting to join us, is going to be fabulous. And so let's see if we can get to our man Abraham, who is in Grand Gedeh, to get us to be live in Grand Gedeh County. We'll be here for the next 1 hour and a half. We will be talking about Grand Gedeh. And those of you who have been following Honorable Grant, his name has been involved in a lot of controversy. And so we are being very careful to make sure that some of the questions that you wanted to ask, that you are able to ask this question. And that's why we bring you these programs. We bring you these officials so they can be answerable to you. At least they can be able to answer some of your questions. And today, most of you will have the chance to respond to Honorable Chersia Grant. And so please stay tuned. Stay there. We'll make sure that we have the honorable response to your question. And we will be asking some questions too. So basically, we all are in it together. Especially by the time we all are in it together, and I'm going to make sure that you all have a chance to talk to your representative. As soon as we are live, our man in Grand Gedeh, Abraham Cooper, will be letting us know if we are live, and we can communicate with our people in Grand Gedeh specific. This program today is going to be more of a Grand Gedeh than the national program. We usually discuss national issues. So please bear with me. We want to bring our lawmakers to to the people of Grand Gedeh, and this is just something that we have been trying over and over to do, and we believe it will be done. And so stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and I will play you some of Chersia Grant's songs in a little bit. Um, I will play you some of Chersia Grant's songs, and I think Chersia Grant will be on in a little bit. So we want to know if Abraham, if you are listening to us, whether we are live already in Grand Gedeh, and so you let us know. You are good at that, so we are not doubting that you're going to do that because you are very good at that. Once you are live, you let us know, and we will play some songs. Let me play some songs for Chersia Grant songs for all of you. We are live right now in the Grand Gedeh County, and those of you who are listening to, we're just spinning some songs here. specifically made for Representative Chersia Grant. And my man Abraham, let me know if it is loud and clear in the Grand Gedeh County, if it's not fussy, if it's not loosey, if it's not flawed, just let me know. Just say yes, and I know it is very loud and clear. And let's play some of Chersia Grant's songs. And we got signal from Grand Gedeh County that the song is loud and clear, and we are happy. And so those of you who are listening, we just played the song. In a little bit, we expect Honorable Chersia, Alex Chersia Grant, Representative number 3 District, Grand Gedeh County, that's Bison District, is going to be with us in shortly. We are waiting for him, and as soon as he arrives, we will go into our conversation. Let's play some of his songs. Do you have a seven in here with Chersia Grant? Do mockery more poor do it go on? Yeah, and more do I'm Paula, do mockery will the more pay doing one. I enter some rule, what you call it, I went Willie. I didn't get by it, I went where you go. Ula Chersia Grant, you are there, young man. I mean, I'm on stage, go a comment, young man. No, it could be a movie detail and upon in the Swedish go in the Boston district, in the Chen district, in the Takreba, we want to go. Then Monwa Gibson Jeruan, in there with Chersia Grant, Omula Gitania, I'm on tea, there are man no Grand Gedeh way. There are one of those Grand Gedeh way. We could be Bania in there. We actually won't by way and it could be, I mean, Black John. We're going to ask Chersia Grant tonight, and those of you who are there, don't go anywhere because I believe Honorable Grant has a lot to discuss tonight. And so, once you are listening to me, just keep yourself. You're going to be having the opportunity to ask your question tonight. You have all the questions you want to ask. Okay, Honorable Grant is going to be here And trust me, we are making contact for Dr. Bully to come here. We are making contact for Senator Marshall Dennis to come here. We're making contact for Senator Zoe Penno to come here. We are making contact for all of our lawmakers to come here to speak to you, because that's the way we believe that it's going to work for you to understand the kind of work they are doing. Okay, thank you very much. That's one of Chersia Grant's songs. We have at least 3 of them here, maybe 4 of them, and we're going to be playing them tonight. But we are right now we are trying to wait for Honorable Grant. He's going to be joining us, and as soon as he does, we will be coming live to you. And today we're going to be discussing Grand Gedeh, a lot about Grand Gedeh, because we believe that our people need to understand what their lawmakers are doing. I'm making effort. The last time we were here with Representative Guion. Representative Guion was here. Madison Guion was here. Errol Madison Guion was here. Then we talked to him. We're going to be talking to another representative tonight. And what is a good thing for us to do is for us to make sure that those of you who have been electing them will continue to understand the kind of job they are doing. That's all we want to do. And as soon as we complete their rounds, we are intending to bring them, all of them, together to see what they can say that make them qualify to that makes them qualify to be the representative or to be the senator over the other. I mean, you want to know, right? You want to know why Honorable Chersia Grant feels that he is more qualified to be the representative for Grand Gedeh County, or why is it that George Bully feels that he is more qualified to be the representative of Grand Gedeh County. And then today, let me just tell you, before we go to Honorable Grant, we'll be calling him a little bit. I think he's getting ready to come. I hope he's not having problem to come on, because I sent him the link. Let me see. Let me see if I can just get to him back to see if he will be able to respond. And we will, let me see if I can get to him and see if he's having issues. If he has an issue, I can just help him to be able to. Have you got you got a link? Okay, no problem. No problem. Thank you. Okay, so before we bring Honorable Grant here, he's getting ready. So I just talked to him. Before we bring Honorable Grant, we want to talk about other things that we wanted to let you know today. And those of you in America, today we are raising money for Councilor Tiawan Say Gongro. We are targeting 100,000 for today's fundraiser. The East Coast had a fundraiser the other day. We're going to bring you the figure as soon as they let us know what the figures are. But today we're going to be raising $100,000 for his campaign. Now, this is what makes it important. If we are the one that are raising money for Councilor Gonglo, what do you think? We have voice. If in Liberia, when the campaign is taking place, usually the people who got money, they are the one that sponsor the campaign, right? They sponsor the campaign, they buy all the food, they pay for all the transportation, they pay for everybody who wants to go back home. If you don't go with the regular transportation, they give you money to go back to your house. Some of them, they put money in your pocket. This is different. And that's what we are trying to do here. This is completely different. We are trying our best. Let me see if I can just, no, I got to go this way. All right, there you go. When you get the money, you pay for everybody. You buy the food, you do everything. You the one tell the people what to do. When you win, you don't have any responsibility. You don't have to. You don't have to. They don't have to ask you any question. Nothing. Because why? You are the man. You are the man. You the one who get the money. Who will ask you question if you get money? Who will ask you question if you are paying all the money? But this is what we are trying to do differently. What we are trying to do differently is we are the one that are raising the money for Tiawan Gonglo. You know why? Because he doesn't have money. Now, why he doesn't have money? Well, you expect him to be money to be a rich man because he's a lawyer, right? Because almost all the good lawyers in Liberia, like him, he's a good lawyer. If he's not a good lawyer, he will never be president of the Liberian Lawyers Association, the Bar Association. All the lawyers in Liberia, the association that they belong to, he was president. He was a many past president. So if he was not a good lawyer, he won't even go to that level because they will not take any hanky-panky lawyer and make him president of the Bar Association. So he was president of the Bar Association. That means he's a good lawyer. And besides that, I know he's a good lawyer because he has been doing very well. He has been representing people. He has been representing people, and there's no issue. He has been winning cases. The government of Liberia at different levels have contracted his services for cases that they cannot win. He goes there and win the cases for the government. He has been contracted by individuals who do not have money to pay for lawyers. He has been representing them. Oh, you don't know that? He represented Akara's Grave when Akara's Grave went to jail. He represented Akara's Grave free of charge and took Akara's Grave from jail. And Akara's Grave today is a representative. He represented Mulba Molu, the chairman of the CDC, when he went to jail under the Ellen Johnson government. Even though Councillor Gonglo was then working in the government and he resigned from the Ellen government, he still decided to fight Ellen government when anytime Ellen government arrested people. So he wasn't afraid of Ellen government. He represented Mulba Molu when Mulba Molu went to jail. He released him from jail. Not only that, don't rush. He also represented Jefferson Koji. As you know, Jefferson Koji, I think you go sit on this way. I think you eat it. Jefferson Koji. Okay, let me see. Let me do myself like this. I think I'm the one that making things difficult for you here. I'm on the radio. I will soon be there. I'm on the radio. I'll call you back. Okay, so let me see if I can do like. Oh, you stay there? Okay, all right. I think I'll be like this. Yeah, I think this way is better. All right. Okay, now you're not inside. You're good. So he represented this guy, Mulba Molu, and released Mulba Molu from jail during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. You can just imagine now. This man served in the Ellen government, and he was one of the ministers. He resigned from the Ellen government and said, hey, look, Ellen, the government, the way you're running it, it was not the way we planned it to be. So he resigned. Now, there are not many people who can do that in Liberia. For you to be in the greasy area, I don't know how many of you listening to me will be holding a greasy job, a minister of labor, one of the most greasy jobs in Liberia. You know what? You know why I say greasy? Because all the Lebanese stores, all the Lebanese businesses, all the factories, all the Indian businesses, all the concession agreement, everybody passing through the labor ministry. Because you have to make sure before you employ anybody from outside Liberia, you have to pass through the labor ministry to give you permit to be able to employ somebody like a Lebanese man, bring his brother from Lebanon to work in a store. You have to pass through the labor ministry to be able to do that. So imagine, you're dealing with Lebanese people, dealing with Indian people, dealing with companies, dealing with concession agreements, dealing with all of these people. You know how greasy it can be, right? It is very greasy. And this man was so brave to say, well, I'm not going to be in this government, Ellen, because what we expected you to do, you are not doing it. And so I resigned. And openly, he resigned after 8 months being in government. But he was not minister 8 months. He was not minister 8 months. He was minister for less than 2 months or for less than 3 months because he was Solicitor General. He was the government prosecutor. He was the one that prosecuted cases for government at the time. This is a man who refused to prosecute cases when the government does not have any stake in it. I remember there were a couple of people that I remember. There were a couple of people that were arrested by government. For example, the Manigo guy that they arrested from Banga. From Banga. They arrested a man because, according to Ellen government, the man used to pick the old gunshot, the aluminum. It's aluminum, it's ali. So the people can pick it and put it in a bag and carry it to Guinea and sell it, and Guineans can make chain and ring and stuff with it. So the guy went in Banga area, people have been picking them, and he bought them. He had about 5 bags of the old gunshot. Then the Ellen government police people arrested him and say, hey, you want to overthrow the Ellen government. So the ICE Tiawan Gonglo to prosecute him. The man said, no, we can't prosecute this man, Madam President, because this man is only making business. A man does not want to overthrow anybody. This is a business that people do. So we don't want to put this man in jail for nothing. And he released that man. He was at the police station, and Gonglo called and said, y'all need to release him. His name was Mohammed something. I can't remember his last name. And I covered it because I was a journalist. I participated in that. Now, how do I know? I know because I covered the program. So anybody who can remember, there's a guy who was arrested in Bon County with 5 bags of ammunition, gun shell. And Gonglo refused to prosecute him because the crime they were putting on him, he was going to go to jail for a long time. But this is a man who was working for government. He was government prosecutor. He was the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia. He could have put that man in jail, and that man would have stayed in jail, and nobody can release him. But he said, no, Madam President, Mr. Minister, that time he was the Justice Minister. He said, Mr. Minister, we can't prosecute this man. We don't have any case on him because what the man is doing is just pure business. These conscience are not going to overthrow the government. Yeah, thank you very much, Julius Banto. You can remember that. Julius Banto can remember that very well. I like when I say something and somebody come on my show and they confirm that. And he called the police director and said, y'all have to release this man because we can't prosecute him. That's how they released the guy. And the guy went back to Guinea. Okay? Even though he was a Liberian, but he was living in Guinea, he was doing business in Guinea. So he went back to Guinea. He went to do a business. He came back to Liberia. He was all over the place and nobody arrested him. That's the kind of person we are talking about. The man who will see something is wrong and tell you say it's wrong. We cannot do that. But that's not all. He also released Jefferson Koji from jail. Well, those of you who don't know, Jefferson Koji was arrested for accusing the defense minister, Brandon Samaka, of attempting to overthrow or assassinate President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Well, I'm not going to go into the detail. Whether he's right, whether he's wrong, whether his story is correct, whether it's not correct, I'm not going to go there because that case is done. So the Ellen government arrested Jefferson Koji and put him in jail and say he lied on the minister of defense and they charged him with sedition. Now they forgot that sedition had been overturned. The police people didn't know, they forgot. And Gonglo is a teacher in the police academy. Oh, how many of you know that? He teaches the police people ethics, human rights issues, so that they don't arrest people they don't have to arrest. But still, after teaching these people, they forgot. He taught them that the sedition law is no longer existing in Liberia. They forgot. You know what happened? They charged Jefferson Koji, your youth leader, your youth league leader in the CDC. They charged him with sedition. So Gonglo went there and said, what you charge the man for? He said, for sedition. He said, where? Which country? Which country you charge the man for sedition? Oh, Bennett Baffa, I want you to come on. Bennett Baffa, I want you to come on. I'm hosting Chersia Grant. I'm going to send you the link right now, Bennett Baffa. I'm going to send you it right now on your Facebook account. I want you to come on. We are hosting Chersia Grant tonight. So you will join me if you have the time. So let me send my link to Bennett Baffa. He's one of my main guy who usually help me to interview BB people then. So Bennett, I'm going to send the link to you right now. Only you. I'm sending it to you, and you can come on while we talk about it a little bit. So Bennett, you have it. I just sent the link to you. You can come on and we can discuss this issue together. So Bennett Balfour is coming on, and Bennett and myself, we usually talk to our big people in Grand Gedeh. But listen, so Jefferson Koji went to jail. The early government, now that is very interesting because I want you to know some of these things. I want for Grand Gedeans to understand. I want for Liberians to understand the kind of man we are talking about. This is the man who worked in early government. He was a Solicitor General. He resigned and said, hey, he was Solicitor General. They promoted him to become Minister of Labor. And because of the way the early government was performing, he didn't like it. He resigned openly and called press conference and told the media people, the Liberian people, and said, I don't want to be in early government because the reason why this government came to power was to do X, Y, and Z. Unfortunately, they have missed the mark. So I'm no longer going to be in the government. The first cabinet minister in my lifetime that the government, the president don't force you. They didn't call you behind the scene and say, you got to resign. Got to resign now. They didn't tell you any of that. You decided you resign from the government that you helped to bring to power. And not only that you resign, but you make it public. You didn't resign behind the door and say, well, the man resigned. Whoever knew about it said, because that wasn't what you were going to ask. Yeah, but whoever knew about the man resign, the man just resign, swear that the man was receiving a late thing. He was receiving a late thing in the back. And now I can say, I may not even resign. That man was receiving a late thing in the back. Gives him, don't worry. But the man went up in public to resign. Now the government that he resigned from, the government that he brought to power, the government that he was minister in, the government he was prosecutor in, arrested Jefferson Koji. Because Jefferson Koji accused the defense minister of attempting to assassinate Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Brandon Samoka. Brandon Samoka got vexed. They ordered the police, they arrested Jefferson Koji, boop, they put him in jail. And what did Gonglo do? Gonglo went and challenged the government. So he went to the police station and said, why are I arrest the man for? They said for sedition. She said, what country? What country you get sedition in? That Liberia you're still talking about? They said, yeah. I said, no, sir. There's no more sedition in Liberia. That law does not exist. You need to release this man. Why Jefferson were in jail? Why you were at the? They didn't even give him to saying to the police station. They saying to Central Prison. They saying to Central Prison. That's what they sent him. South Beach. That's what they sent him. You send someone to South Beach and you charge the man that the crime that no longer exists in Liberia. That what Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government charged him with. Gonglo said, no way. You're not going to keep the man in jail. You'll have to release him. If you're not releasing him, I'm going to file the writ of habeas corpus. How many of you know the writ of habeas corpus is the highest writ in the Republic of Liberia? Nobody in Liberia can challenge it. Even the president cannot challenge it in Liberia. It is the strongest writ in Liberia. They call it the writ of habeas corpus. So he told them, if you don't release it, I'm going to file the writ of habeas corpus. And then in the evening, they released Jefferson Koji. Okay, I understand, my brother. I understand. Thank you very much, Balfour. When you get a chance another time. So basically, that's what happened. And guys, you see people passing behind me. I'm in my hotel room, so you see people passing behind me. I want you to understand that. Not only that. The same journal, the same man. That's why Councilor Gonglo does not have money. The people who are supposed to pay him money for representing them, they don't have money. They are broke. Jefferson Koji was broke like church house rat. Right now, he got money. At the time they represented him, Gonglo represented him, he didn't got fast to even eat a day, he got money. He got to go to CDC headquarters to be able to get the food that the people get there. He got to go to Lapa Bido so they can get him beans and rice to be able to eat at the time. That the man Gonglo come and tell say can't pay me to represent you. No. Moluba Molu did not have money at the time. You see, Moluba Molu at the time he said, the man, I'm not even going to ask him because he even got money to eat. Or even this man, Akaros Gray, they didn't have money to eat. That man, the poor can go ask them money, say, can't pay me before I go represent you. So therefore, Councillor Gonglo could not ask them for money. And if you pass. If you are not asked them, if you are not represented them without asking them for money, definitely you and I know that these people were going to stay in jail for long, because nobody in Liberia who is a human rights lawyer that will not ask for money to represent people more than Councillor Gonglo. So, but that's not the only thing. The journalists in Liberia, when they go to jail, like T. Majidate, when they charge T. Majidate, and the LA government did a lot of stuff. Rodney Sear went to jail on Ellen Johnson government. Ellen Johnson government, Rodney Sear went to jail, and who represented him? Same man. So the man, the money he's supposed to get for representing the people, in fact, we owe this man. We owe this man, we owe this man, because we can see that this man has been helping people, and he has been doing it free of charge. And this man could have represented or taken contract from big companies, and he will be like some companies when they dismiss somebody, like concession agreement. I remember, I think the guys from Cape Man, there's a company that was in Cape Man that abandoned the people, the palm farm, and the employees came. There was nobody to represent them. They went to Councillor Gonglo and said, Councillor, we want you to represent us. And that's how Councillor Gonglo represented them. They were able to get some money. So if these people, if they know representing big companies, y'all know that you are going to be rich long time. Because lawyers are rich in Liberia. Most lawyers who are good lawyers like Councillor Gonglo, they are rich. This man decided not to be rich, to represent the interests of people. And even in our own case, Grand Gedeh, the man represented our boys without being paid. Tell me, how, let me just put it this way, because I was in the front, behind, in front, back, on the side of that whole case. If this man was not going to agree, we're not even going to get a lawyer to represent our boys. That alone. We have called all the lawyers in Monrovia. Gibson, I called most of the lawyers that I know. Even other members from the Grand Gedeh Association, individual members from the Grand Gedeh Association, call other lawyers, and no human being called lawyer in Liberia was willing to represent Crown people who they accuse to be mercenaries. Eh? You can just imagine Crown people, they are mercenaries. Any crime they put on a Crown man, a fit. They make it look sweet. They make it look good for all of us to love it. The Grand Gedehs are mercenaries. If they are mercenaries, Prince, if they are mercenaries, obviously, what do you expect? Nobody wants to represent them. We call this lawyer, the lawyer say, what other lawyer you call? You call the other lawyer, nobody wants to. They fight that Councillor Gonglo. Oh my God. They fight that he even agreed. I wish he was paid. They fight that he even agreed to represent the Crown people who they call mercenary. You know, anything that get on Crown man can be big, eh? Any crime you put on Crown man is good enough to be killed. Because what Elena wanted to do, they were just arresting people all over the place. They even arrested people who were in their own houses. Listen, I'll give you one more example. You know, Marshall Dennis, his own cousin was arrested while Marshall Dennis was on campaign trail with his cousin in Zlatan. And Marshall Dennis had nothing to do to free that man. Nothing. You know who freed the man? Councillor Gonglo. So this man, Crampo, arrested here, there. Oh, they are bad people. They are criminals. Because anything that crime men do, they are criminal. Nobody in Monrovia that we call lawyers that we agree. And at that time, it made me feel bad. Like the Crown tribe is a bad thing. Like it's a poo-poo in Liberia. That's how I look at it. Because if we call people that are new, lawyers that are new, that have the ability to release people from jail or to represent them, these are lawyers that I used to call. Because I've been in the system for long, I know the good lawyers. In fact, I was with the judiciary. I reported from the judiciary for the longest, for 15 years. I was reporting from the judiciary. I was trained by lawyers in the judiciary to be able to report on legal issues. Therefore, I knew the lawyers who can do the job. Nobody. And I want to say thanks also to Arthur Johnson, because when Councilor Gonglo asked us to go to Arthur Johnson so Arthur Johnson can help him, the family members of the relatives and other representatives who were in Monrovia that went to Arthur Johnson, that time he was attorney at law. He couldn't argue at the Supreme Court. He was just an attorney at law. So in that case, I gone to Supreme Court, definitely he couldn't argue. And he definitely went to Supreme Court, and that only Gonglo alone was able to argue, because Arthur Johnson was not qualified at the time to argue at the Supreme Court of Liberia. He was attorney, Arthur Johnson. But he helped in a way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll stop right here, and we will introduce our guest of today, the Honorable Alex Chersia Grant, representative of District Number 3, Bison District in Grand Gedeh. Here is Honorable Grant. You are most welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I regret the situation. I have to be so late, like 30, 31 minutes late.
I think we have enough time. We got enough time. Okay. It's good that you came on. The people of Grand Gedeh have been waiting. They are ready to listen to you. They are ready to ask you some questions. Today, my guests, my audience usually ask some tough questions, but I told them they must be respectful of you. And so you deserve all the respect as one of our lawmakers. And we will give you all the respect, but there will be some tough questions today. And we are hoping that you will be able to respond to the people of Grand Gedeh when they ask the question. Let me start with this, sir. Tell us about Chersia Grant. Who is Chersia Grant? Are you married? Do you have children? Or are you just a bachelor with no child? Who are you?
Well, thank you, brother. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure that I'm appearing for the first time on your show. And I'm glad to be here. I have been appearing on other shows, but I mean, that's why I just thought to take up the offer as you presented it. Alex Chersia Grant is the son of Grand Gedeh County, born in Porter many years ago, more than 50 years ago. And he's educated, he's married, been married for, I just celebrated my 29th wedding anniversary, actually.
29th wedding anniversary. Man,
29th wedding anniversary.
You beat me to that.
Okay, that's good, yes. And my wife and I have been together for more than 32 years. So, yes, we were actually young people when we met, and just completed my studies at Zodin Model School. I came to Monrovia. I was around 23 years, and my wife was around 20. Since then we've been together, 1989 actually. And my wife is from Nima County in Grand Gedeh.
Yeah. I see you myself. We got to dance right there.
Welcome to my world.
I think, by some kind of way, I know that you are welcome from that. So I'm welcome from that too. But that's a good thing. You have some kids, right?
Yeah, we have kids.
Okay.
And then we even have grandchildren now.
Oh,
right. Who are sleeping. Yes. So we've been together all that time. It had never been milk and honey. It's always been ups and downs. But we didn't take it to say, look, my friend, I've erred here, we are human beings. So we kept it throughout, tolerating each other, loving each other. And when there were problems, we sorted them out and we moved on, and we are still moving. November 14, we celebrated the 29th wedding anniversary.
Actually, you know what they say about men who can keep long relationship? They call them leaders. I want to be in that position to have a marriage that will be 29 years. I'm just 11 years, and you are 29 years. You are like several years more than me.
several years, yes, sure. Though, I mean, as a leader, you should tolerate people. You have your own shortcomings. See it that way. That look, it could have been me erring, or I am the one erring, and then she keep pardoning me. So if there are situations, but we have to keep it up that way.
You must be a patient woman indeed.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure,
Because
sure.
I know when you were young, you were problematic, and she had to put all that with you.
Of course. At the time we're thinking that we're living the man's world and we control
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
around us. Well, she tolerated me, and so whenever there are problems, we say, let's reflect from where we come from to reach this far. I think it's a very good experience.
And
And
what were
if
you
you don't,
doing before? What were you doing before you became the representative? What job were you doing?
okay, after school,
Yeah.
we were here and then we went into exile. We went to school in exile, came back, and then I started teaching. But while there doing some work, I was also teaching as a paralegal officer trained by JPC.
Okay.
We were there when we came back. We also used that as human rights advocates in Grand Gedeh County. And
Right.
from the
Right.
human rights advocacy position, we got recruited by United Nations, where we
Okay.
worked for several years as international civil servants, and from there we joined into politics. We were here, we worked for the public sector, worked in the private sector, and then of course into the United Nations. From there, right now we are into public service.
Hmm.
So I serve as international civil servant. From there on, now I'm working as a continental public servant again with the legislature. I represent Liberia at the Pan-African Parliament,
Oh wow.
where we have our office. Yes, I'm the head of the Liberian delegation to the Pan-African Parliament, and I've been there ever since I joined the legislature.
Okay. So I keep hearing people. One time I told someone, I said, if you continue to question this man's education, how can a man teach a high school if he is not educated? Why you think people tend to doubt your education? Why?
Well, it's an imputed political characterization, and so when they are saying these things, I just look at them.
Hmm.
All right, I go to school. In fact, I actually took a leave
Hmm.
from the University of Liberia because I'm pursuing a master's in education there, and at the same time pursuing another master's in public sector management. And I got school records, I got class records, I sat in classroom. And because this political season are coming, I said, look, I cannot do all these things at once. Let me go for the highest position. When I come and relax myself in 9 years, I can obtain any degree that I want to pursue. But for now, it's the politics. So when all of those things are fabrication from the camp of Senator Dennis, I have just thought not to waste my time with them because they don't even count in my political life.
Why
I
Senator
don't need.
Dennis? Why Senator Dennis? You and Senator Dennis are from close, almost the same town.
We were to be actually that's why I supported. I really I didn't air because I stood up for Boston District and I needed that senatorial position. After we lost it, when Senator Sunday left the stage, I
Right.
put my feet to the ground and I put my not just only I deployed resources to ensure that he got that position. Resources I know for certainty that he couldn't deploy for me, but I did those things for the sake of our district that we so dearly love.
Get some money.
Because,
You did
right,
spend some money.
I did indeed to register as a candidate.
How much you
I
think
did
you spent?
register.
How much you think you
I did
spent?
register. What?
How much you think you spend? Give an
I spent
estimate.
close to 20,000 United States dollars.
20,000. Hmm.
20,000 United States dollars. Apart from physically giving him cash, I spent fortunes on him.
Hmm.
And today he has not shown any sense or instinct of gratitude. So that's why he is. Even when Senator Sunday died, when there was a family feud, I helped to settle it. Guess why? You may not know. Senator Sanders' mother is from Portland. Senator Dennis' mother was a younger sister to Senator Sunday.
Hmm.
So I told the people, look, both of them are my sons. So as a father, I will intervene and settle this thing. And that's how it was through my intervention that Senator Dennis, now Senator Dennis, was able to go to the house of Senator Sane. to sympathize with them after the woman died. But interestingly, before the woman died, Honorable Doji and myself visited him on some occasion. He said, "Look, my son, I thank God you won elections. Probably people don't understand what I'm going through in Marshall, but he's not a good man." We said, "Papa, it's okay, leave it at that." He said, "But you'll see it." And truly, truly, his wife said the same thing. You will experience Marshall Dennis. Then you will know what we are talking about.
So you think Marshall Dennis is an ingrate?
Well, I don't know if there is any war higher than ingrate or so. Yes,
So
but I
is
think yes,
looking for a word that is higher than ingrate.
yes, yeah. So
Or gratitude.
I had to, it's a representation of the devil
I just gave
itself.
you a word. Maybe he's a mean guy.
Well, Senator Dennis is just a super ingrate. Let me add a superlative degree.
Super.
Yeah. Super ingrate.
We'll come back to whatever has to do with Senator.
He doesn't have conscience. Yes, I think that's the right description. He doesn't have conscience because there's a parable how can people say, "Wanta create you a bed here in water." You got it right?
Yep.
You are cooking, you don't have pepper in your soup. This orphan has pepper and say, "Look, I don't have rice to cook, I don't have sauce and nothing, but you will need a pepper." So even if you cook your food, you didn't give that orphan. The pepper you're eating can remind you that
I'm the guy there, and yeah, when you're there, we show all parties in the Zoom.
Then now what we
Okay, we'll come back to Senator Dennis, and Senator Dennis will be coming on here. I believe he has his own explanation, but let's move away from that. We'll come back, but let me ask you: you want to be a senator? What is it that is at a representative level that you could have done that you will not be able to do until you are senator?
Okay, first thing is the the Senate is the house of elders, people who can think and make reasonable decisions to transform a given situation that is plaguing his or her constituency. Moreover, our people have contributed immensely to the survival and to coming to power of this coalition. At some point, we sacrificed. And it interests me to know that Senator Dennis, at the time of the transition, was the only CDC senator sitting who could not afford to fetch an existing ministerial position for our people. Those that were available to him were exchanged for cash. But that's not the reason for which our people sacrificed. They needed somebody who could be there to defend them. And two, Grand Gedeh kind of needed people who could also work together as a team. Because to achieve in politics, you must have a team and be a team player. The 5 core competencies of any organization, you must first have the organization awareness. You should be able to adapt to changing times and conditions. You must be able to be a team player. Otherwise, you cannot cope, you cannot survive in this contemporary age of globalization. Those things, from what I'm seeing now, and the reality that is sinking into me is Senator Dennis needs to remain in the corporate world and not in the political theater. 2, as of this date, Senator Dennis does not even understand the purpose for which he's in the Senate. Even the Senate rules.
Are you kidding me?
He does not understand it. Even the Senate rules and common laws that we are supposed to use to protect our people's rights, laws that are supposed to protect our resources, the Honorable has not understood them. But you can, if you follow the Liberian Senate, have you seen or follow up on any debate from Senator Dennis or in the Burkina Faso situation? which is raising false alarm. So that has been my disappointment, and then it's punctuated by his irreversible quest to push people against me when he doesn't have strength politically to match me.
His irresistible quest to push people against you when he doesn't have the
political. Or let me borrow this word from the late General Johnson, when he doesn't have the political preponderance to resist me when I'm going after him.
Okay, let me. You said something here that the Burkina-based stuff was a false alarm. The representative will come on. I know we have network issue in Liberia, as you know, and when you stay on the phone for a long time, these things happen. He can go out and come back again. That wouldn't be a problem. Okay, so we have him back. We have him back.
Our networks here.
Yeah, I understand. Don't worry about it. I already told the people about your network. So you good. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so the question I wanted to ask was, you said that the Burkina issue is a false alarm. And those of us in America, we don't have a clear picture of it. Why did you say it's a false alarm? How is it a false alarm?
You know, when you really follow the Honorable, sometimes you laugh about points that he made. He comes up to say the longer time Burkina Faso stay in our forest, they one day host Burkina Faso fled to declare.
No, they will never declare Grand Gedeh Burkina Faso. I don't think that one.
But these are arguments, weak, lazy arguments. Sometimes he presents in the Senate, and I just laugh at him, because there is no way in the 21st century that somebody will come on Liberia's territory to declare, say we have stayed here for this X number of years, this place become Burkina Faso automatically. It's so trivial to think about, you know. And mind you, these are things it's not present to the floor.
So
people think about that. You don't know what you're doing. The reality is, I started the fight with this Burkina Faso thing from immediately I entered office. I hit the ground running because of my previous experience, because of the knowledge I acquired serving as an international civil servant under the international law. And I mean, we are being encouraged to the extent of the United Nations that they are coming up with this global compact on migration, allowing migrants to move around the continent, around the world. And African Union, being the modern institution, is promoting that we Africans, we are encouraging intra-African trade to boost our economy, for which purpose we've come on to sign onto this continental free trade agreement. Which portion of the free trade agreement as a protocol for the free movement of people on the continent? I represent Liberia at the Pan-African Parliament, and I'm on the Committee on Trade, Customs, and Immigration Matters. At this committee, we are discussing regional integration. All of the regions of Africa, we have the regional economic communities. So if we have these regional economic communities and we are members of ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is promoting free movement of people, tell me, what instrument am I going to use to resist our fellow Africans?
The people in Grand Gedeh, they are listening to you right now. They are listening to you. Some of them believe that you probably are insensitive to their concern, that the Burkina-based may one day take over their land. Don't you feel are you not afraid of the Burkina-based issue?
Look, for me, understanding the laws we have, I have no fear. All I need to do, if there are some specific fears, I am elected by the people to create solutions. If I know that there is no law to protect their land, I should start working on protecting their land and by introducing laws that will protect. That's the essence of being the leader of the people and having that oversight. I should not be crying wolf. Oh, the people take our land. What I know, I was elected on purpose to create solutions, to look at situation and find a way around. Then I will be crying wolf. No, I look at a situation when there are problems. I go to find legal solution to the problems. And when it comes to the issue of land now, basically the land in question is a tribal land, customary land. And customary land, according to our Liberian land rights, cannot be sold for the next 47 to 50 years. So all I'm working on now with the LRA as a durable solution to the issue of protecting our people's land is to ensure that we start to work and start deeding the lands our people own. So if your land is deeded and you exchange it for cash, then it's the situation now of waiting seller and waiting buyer.
Right.
But the laws are clear. The laws are clear. They cannot sell this land for the next 50 years. So why is my fear? The problem actually is, and most of our people really are interested in farming with these people. Look in the sub-region. These Burkinabe migrated to Ghana and they still started the cocoa doctrine or the cocoa farming. What they have learned and learned so well. Ghana economy is supported by cocoa. These Burkinabes have worked in Cote d'Ivoire along the same bank of Kavada that we have abundantly. And they are making African economy stronger. Tell me now, if we have the other side of the bank of the river that is so fertile, just drop a cocoa seed, you don't need to apply fertilizer. Why don't we maximize on on the progress they are making in favor of our people? We say have the privilege to make laws.
So do you think the Burkinabes are just coming into the land, or they are being invited by our Grand Gedeh themselves?
They are invited by Grand Gedehians, they are invited by Liberians. Like take for example, in Bloomtown, there's no Burkinabe. Why? The people say we don't want them, and they have never gone there to encroach on the people's land.
Right. That makes sense.
So in other parts of the country,
should go and bring them, and then they give them unfettered access to their land.
To their land.
Is it possible? Is it possible for the government to go in there and say, "Hey, you cannot give the land to the people, or this area of your farm, you cannot give it to them"? Is that possible for the government to do that? No.
Well, the government will be infringing on the people's rights to own property. So the government cannot do that. In fact, when the president came in February of 2021, we were there. So then they put some t-shirts on the beginning. The Burkinabes are touching our land. And when I was given the opportunity to speak, when I spoke, the president said, in clear tone, my friend Honorable Grant has spoken, and he spoke on the reality. Nobody is taking your land. If you have issues, go back and settle your issue with those that you are hosting on your land. The actual problem is, Gibson, you and your brothers are from the same father, and your father has a portion of land. What should be done if you are going to this thing? The family should sit and discuss. How do we want to do this land? We agree on this. But sometimes greed leaves some of our people, and they go, they alone want to take all the money, and they exclude other family members. Now you are excluding your other family members. Are we on course?
Yeah, we're on course. We're on course.
Okay, good. Now that you exclude your other family members, they will come back at you. And they'll say that most people are taking our land. These people, they don't come to anybody's land, march going. No. They ask you, you go into negotiation. Take the case of Nico. They had a parcel of land, and they said, we want to do business with you, Simon and Claude. And Simon gave them equivalent of 25,000 United States dollars. Go and process every paper that is required to preserve your land and put this into your own name. Then I can enter a lease with you. They went into these agreements. They processed the land, and they felt the land was 500 acres. Now, after the man assisted them, according to the story, God spoke to the man and has also spoke to them. The documents were processed. Now they have papers. They said, no, we can't give you the 500 acres. We're going to give you 250 and give your friend 250. Do he help them to process the paper so that you take it? They had discussion.
So they wanted money from the other friend now.
Probably that details are not being available to me, so I don't want to reference it much. Okay, so that's how for them they came. I mean, by the will of people, but the main idea I'm trying to push here is people don't come and encroach on land. They give you money, and so that they work together. So agreements that we have been pushing, and we also not leaving our people in doubt. In December of 2021, we had a training section discussing the issue of migration in total. Thankfully, son Jerry was there with us. Yeah, in December of 2020, actually. And then we had this training session just to ensure we give the orientation to our people. We there with 33 communities, borderlands communities, and educated them. If you brought Burkina B, who doesn't have paper, the number of person you brought, each of them, government will find you $1,000. We give all this education to our people just so that they understand. And the thankful thing is, in Liberia, foreigner doesn't own land by our constitution.
No, you can't.
You can't. So if we did this parcel of land, I work with Liberia Land Authority. We've gone to foreign finance ministry seeking money to do demarcation of this land to certificate our people as land owners. All right, which would do straightly and then, I mean, to some extent, reduce the issue of land dispute. So
you guys are in the legislature. You have the Grand Gedeh Legislative Caucus. You guys are individually trying to solve the problem. Why is it not a concerted effort by the caucus?
Well, when I was a caucus chair, that's where I even partnership with the Carter Center and the Grand Gedeh Bar Association, and we achieved some of those things. Right now, after us, Dr. Bole, Senator Dennis, and Madison Green overthrew the legitimate government on 10 March 2022.
Overthrew you?
Oh, yes. I was a caucus chair with the responsibility of directing the activity of the caucus. When my term expired, I called them, look, gentlemen, my 3 years term as a caucus chair have expired. I'm going to see how we can conduct election. If you still believe in my capacity to lead as caucus chair,
yes, I'm
still available to serve.
Right.
And we have 4 caucus members. Senator Dennis resigned from the caucus in 2019, January 28th. According to him, for reasons best known to himself, and as far as I know, he has not returned to the caucus. So when he came with the coupist, only to be co-chair of the caucus. So when I announced the meeting,
let the Grand Gedeh people get it straight. So Senator Dennis decided he will no longer be a member of the caucus since 2019.
Yes, 2019, January 28th.
Recently, when they told him he would be the co-chair, he decided to come out because you're going to be co-chair.
Wait, they didn't tell him when Madison Green won elections, he felt that Madison Green being one of his stooges.
Stooges.
Being one of his stooges would obviously come on his side. Then he felt confident that he can return to the caucus.
He's a representative. How can he be a stooge?
A performance indicates nothing other than stooge.
I'm laughing not because I agree with you, but I'm laughing because it looks so funny that a representative who has his own office, who has his own voice, will be a stooge based on his action. And so
Gibson, let me be clear about this. I'm not saying it because I want you to agree with me, but I'm describing the actual prevailing situation. Okay. It is your option to choose to accept or not to accept. But I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from what I'm seeing. I'm speaking on what is being practicalized.
Is it possible for us to have peace in the caucus? From your
perspective, it's difficult now.
It's difficult now. Why? Why?
The why is Senator Dennis is terrified that George Bode is terrified, and Madison is also worried about his return to the legislature. So they feel comfortable working in their enclave, excluding the most senior and most experienced representatives and the leaders of the people.
Why would they be terrified? Okay, let's start with Dennis. Why would Senator Marshall Dennis be terrified? By who? By what?
By me, the political force coming behind him. And if you really know him,
you want to boot him out?
He's a man of the past. He's just holding the place. The placeholder right now.
Okay, then why George Bole is scared about anything? Why would he be afraid?
There was no assurance of return.
So because of the position they have, so they want to clinch on to the interim leadership, and they don't want to hold
in reality, their misconception is that the thing with the caucus leadership, they could be revived. There is something I learned in political science they call gambling for resurrection. That's what they own now.
So why don't you leave Marshall Dennis alone to go? Saying
it's not about Marshall. It's about the county. The county needs.
Tell me what is about the county.
The county needs better representation. The county needs the 21st century compliant lawmaker who understands the political intricacy of Liberia, and we have to do just that. Imagine when people created fake video that have the meaning and the filming image of Grand Gedeh County, and the government said we need to hear from the caucus. And they were reneging to speak. They were delinquent in their, responses. I have to take to the press to condemn that video because I know every trace of it was nothing but fake. To this date, they said they are investigating. They said that you don't believe for Marshall Dennis being a citizen, you don't believe the DC government. One, it said that you don't believe, even if the people say they are lying, being CDC senator, you don't believe your political leader. Do you believe your political leader can conspire against your county? You, Marshall Dennis, are a member of CDC. George Bode is from the opposition. You are aligning with him to diminish the image of your own political institution. You don't know? Can somebody train in a city center of Grand Gedeh County City without people knowing?
It's not possible. I also condemn that video.
Very well. People are doing it to defend the character of your people, the image of your people. And then you say, since you don't have evidence, you cannot condemn it. Justice Minister sent a text. They are trying to do this. It is your county. We need to hear from you. I forwarded a text with comments to Dr. Bode. He said, Justice Minister also forwarded this text. Justice Minister forwarded it to you. Did you call me as a member of the caucus? They refuse to return to
call. Let people of Grand Gedeh understand what you're saying here, and that's very important because that speaks to more why the caucus is divided. So if the Justice Minister sends you, Honorable Grant, a text message, you forward the message to Dr. Bole, and Dr. Bole tells you that the Justice Minister also sent him that same text. Well, with this kind of concern from the government, that for me will have been a good reason for the caucus to meet and come out with a unified statement. You guys met at all?
We did not meet. I was surprised. We did not meet, and I had to go to EFBC to rubbish that kind of allegation and assertion against our people. They didn't call me to say, oh, we got this text, or none of he called me because I forwarded it to him as chairman and forwarded the text to the secretary. Okay? I didn't forward it to Senator Dennis purposely because I forwarded it to the chairman and the secretary. It should be enough to have that communication. Dr. Bullet read the text as soon as I sent it. It didn't take 3 minutes, he read it. You know, for WhatsApp, by the time you open it,
somebody you would know that they read it.
You know that they read it. He didn't call me. None of he said, oh, Justice Minister sent it to me, but I know he was lying because I sent it, he read it. I'm sure so if Justice Minister sent it to you, why you didn't send it to me?
But
Honorable Joe Penu,
what we are talking about,
Honorable Joe Penu had traveled with the president in America then when they went to America. Okay, so those were the kind of intriguing things that they were doing. We didn't care, and that's why, in fact, some of us were speculating that they were part of the players, because most of the messages in that particular communication were things that Senator Denny had been saying. Burkina Faso will come and take over Grand Gedeh County. After the training, then they will attack Grand Gedeh. Then President Weah will send Nimayen to come. Imagine those words of insanity.
It's complete rubbish. But
rubbish. So I rubbish all of the allegations.
Let me ask you this question. Somebody is listening. They want to know if there is hope at all for the caucus to come back to itself at any time, any point. Is there any hope, or we just lost every hope?
Well, if Dr. Bole were, if he were actually a good leader, we thought being the senior men were unified, but saying Larry rebel group or to overthrow, his conscience is not setting him right. We have never quitted from the caucus. Whenever we got invitations, we go to the caucus meetings. But they are fear again, if we continue going among them, I don't know what they are thinking.
So
but in reality,
they don't even host caucus meeting right now.
The caucus meeting for 3 of them.
So they host caucus meeting and only 3 of them appear.
Exclude us. And they exclude us. Honorable Penu and I.
What did they have a problem with Honorable Penu too?
Yes, because Honorable Penu is one of my staunch supporters.
Oh, it's like you kill the master and kill the protege. Well, I'm just being literate. I'm talking to an educated man, so I'm being literate here. Okay, now literature here. Okay, so this is
So
that's the kill the master, kill the protege. So you don't want any trace of survival.
But they're not succeeding either.
Let me make a breach here. I'll come right back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to us here from the Groove 106 FM, and we are live in Grand Gedeh from Flash FM. Those of you who are there, will soon open the line for you to ask some questions. But I'm in conversation, very serious conversation, with Honorable Chersia Grant, District number 3, Grand Gedeh Grant, the Boston District representative. Now he wants to be the senator. And guess what? He wants to boot out Marshall Dennis because he said Marshall Dennis is not doing the work of a senator. In fact, he said Marshall Dennis doesn't still understand what the intricacies of being a senator is. Let me go back to the senator and let's talk. The representative. Let me talk.
You are not Aaron. You are inspired by the Spirit. So speak on.
No, I'm not. Look, that's why I do my interview. That's how I do my interview. So those of you who are listening to me, doesn't mean I'm for Chersia Grant right now, but that's how I do my interview. We make it look lively, we make it look real, and we ask some tough questions too.
It's interactive. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's very interactive. So let's go to the issue of. So what have you done that the people of Grand Gedeh should give you the senatorial position? What have you done?
Well, I have worked distinctively. I have worked and successfully as an achiever to get a second term in a political scene, especially Grand Gedeh County. You must have been an extraordinary person, and that's what we have achieved. Our district have been lingering in abject poverty. And we are trying to restore our district. That's why we are coming on board, or we came on board with 3 fundamental pillars for development.
Okay.
We say we are leading the fight against ignorance, poverty, and disease. And our activities, our development objectives are tailored to those things. Fighting ignorance, we ensure that by our presence in the legislature, Grand Gedeh County now has a tertiary institution that we could have had many years ago. Honorable Penu passed this Grand Gedeh County Community College Act in 2010, 2011. It passed through both houses. And because of our quest to fight ignorance, we operationalize that community college and it's now running. I tell you, we are running now after we have had 5 graduations, and now we are pushing for a university status. We are now pushing to start or granting bachelor degree. That is the fight against ignorance.
Does the people of Grand Gedeh understand these things?
I think they understand, and that's why they are overwhelmingly supporting us.
Okay.
Our people are saying, because in the first place, in the 80s, we had a president say, when we were spoken in the morning and the university built in the evening. With Dr. Bole, who is now struggling to revive himself as education minister. With Dr. Bole, who cannot point.
Are you kidding? Wait a minute. So are you trying to lump it with we are government now to be education minister?
No, Dota, he said you are one of the longest serving education minister.
Yeah, he was the longest serving minister in Doe government, from the education ministry to Ministry of State. That is true. So
when you could have acted those days, hey, in the morning, hey, let there be one university in Grand Gedeh, and we are being. Tubman did. He built a technical college. The technical college now is full-fledged university. We could have done similarly. In fact, the only thing with the tertiary institution we had, in fact, should we say tertiary because they were high schools, multilateral, and the TWR. Maybe the small technicality that were added at World Bank or certain multilateral high school. When we could have had university professors today, influencing people and making decisions. People who are being at the university lecturing and painting good pictures of what truly crown people are.
So what are you going to do when you become a senator? What will be what are your focus right now? What specifically you trying to work towards?
We're still going to uphold this fight against ignorance, poverty, and disease. Because when those things are tackled, people will be able to be self-sufficient.
Let's take the disease, for example, ignorance, poverty, and disease. Leave the ignorance, leave the poverty. Let's talk about the disease. Since Ellen Johnson's selling time, the Martha Totman Hospital has never gotten any money more than maybe 500,000, while other places they are getting more money. What are you guys doing about that?
My brother,
how difficult it is for you guys to negotiate for Grand Gedeh Health Center of Health Program to get more money?
There we go again. You know, you were once a legislative reporter.
Yes.
Right. And you know the horse functions through committees.
Right.
On the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and Development Planning is the only statutory and constitutional committee that has representation of the 15 counties. In the House, Dr. George Bode is there. Doctor. In the Senate, accountant Marshall Dene is there.
They represent our counties on the Ways, Means, and Development Committee. So
yes, Ways, Means, Planning. Yeah, Ways, Means, Finance, and Development Planning.
So George Bode should be speaking when the budget arrives. When they go to that committee meeting, George Bode should be telling the people that this money that you give our country is small.
Yeah. In fact, that's the committee. When you get the update, you should come back to your caucus and brief the caucus. Nothing like that is done. Since 2015, when Senator Gay was there, from 2012 to 2015, whenever there was allocations, Senator Gay will go the extra miles. There was a particular time, I can tell you, in 2014, the government allocated 500,000. Senator Gay lobbied and increased the money to 825,000.
Yes, I remember in 2018, it went up to 811,000 or something like that, but it came back down to 400,000. Since 2015.
That right. When Senator Dennis came, after I did all that cool to make him to get re-elected, Madam President said, Honorable Grant, I know Senator Dennis is your very close ally. Talk to him. There was a pro-tem elections to vote for Senator Joseph Nambwe, so that we can push for balance of power. So that we can push for balance of power.
The President of the Republic Ice
Of
Cube to
Liberia.
so they
Yes.
can put a representative of a
regional senator. A senator from Sino. At the time, I was a secretary for the Southeastern Legislative Caucus.
Okay.
And I spoke to the big brother. Look, this is what the president has said. She sent to me the Internal Affairs Minister. We went out, we presented the issues. Senator Dennis refused to give his support to Senator Nambwe.
Did they bribe you to go tell Senator Dennis?
Hold on. I'm coming. Let me present, because I mean this is an interesting discussion.
Yes, it is. It is. Go ahead.
Yeah. At the time, Senator Gay and all of the Southeastern Legislative Caucus members, except for Senator Dennis, were supporting Nambwe. In fact, there were two that refused to. Him and Senator J from River G. So the deal was we put Joseph Nambwe to go as pro tem. Then the same group will push Senator Gay as chairman on Ways and Means, so that he'll be having enough strength to project Grand Gedeh issue. Guess what? Senator Dennis refused to support Senator Gay. And who did he support? The man who was the last rebel commander in Grand Gedeh County, Captain Mao. And guess what? There were only two that supported Captain Mao at the time.
No, you're not serious. Captain Mao from NPFL?
Yes.
Captain Mao from NPFL is the one that Dennis supported to be the
yes, in 2015, after he got elected. So there were only two. I even called him, big brother. This place is a place of number. There were only three. Him, Matthew J, and Oscar Cooper, three of them in a block. I talked to him, he said, no, I'm not going to vote for Gay. If I vote for Nambwe, then Senator Gay will win as chairman on Ways and Means. Then,
what?
But he spoke, yes. God knows what I'm speaking. So he refused. But the interesting thing, he received $10,000 for campaign purpose. He ate the money and did not vote the old man.
Okay. So you were contacted by the Internal Affairs Minister and say, hey, the president wants your colleague or your party to vote for Joseph Nambwe to be the president. And eventually, Alfonso Gay, who is from Grand Gedeh, will have definitely gone to Ways and Means.
As chairman.
As chairman, which put us in the best position to decide, to make most of the decision of development issues in our county. Senator Dennis decided he would not vote for or campaign for Nambwe, even though he received $10,000 to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
You understand? So because the prime minister said, okay, and so membership on that committee is compulsory. They had to take the representation of Grand Gedeh Legislative Caucus from Senator Gay and give it to him. As member on the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning since 2015 to this day. If they even having budget hearing, Senator Dennis is either in Grand Gedeh or does not even go to section.
That is the question I wanted to ask, because time for budget, I always talk about this benefit not coming to Grand Gedeh, and this thing begins with a budget hearing and ends with budget approval.
You don't see him there. When budget in, that's the time he goes to Grand Gedeh, or he resident in maybe Crown Hotel or Zio or somewhere, cooling off. So since 2015, look at, I did a budget analysis. If you like, I will send it to you tomorrow. From 2015, our budget have always some implemented. Some of the projects you see, we personally go to advocate before they will come. How? Grand Gedeh deserves better.
Grand Gedeh deserves better. That statement, I want to hold you there. We're going to read a few comments and we're going to go to Grand Gedeh to take some calls. And we do it as a matter of principle. After the calls, we give you additional 30 minutes to be able to respond to some of the comments that will be made. Because if you don't respond, people tend to believe something that they made up in their mind. Let me read some of the comments here. It's coming from Julius Banto. He said that's true. He did that for the people in the opposition. That's Tiawan Gonglo he was talking about. And this one, Julius Bantu say he helped to release Vandala, Arrow, Patrick's as well. I'll go down to issues that has to do with the the representative. This one, he said Gonglo is a clean man. I mean, a man with clean record. And Bennett Baffo is speaking here. Also, Bennett said, oh, he was just talking to me, so I'm not going to read that comment. Julius said, Gonglo also helped to release Vandana Patrick. And this one is coming from Mami Freeman says, I know, right? And she was talking about the discussion about helping Grand Gedeh. Emmanuel Zaza, Mr. Jeru, I love your passion, but I want to suggest that you and others in the opposition encourage collaboration to have a reduced number of opposition candidates, or else it will be a waste of resources and energy. Well, you might be right, but we'll see what happened. And coming from Lanka Prince, good evening. I'm Prince Lanka, watching from Liberia, Pinsville, Omega Tower. Lanka, you are always here, and we want to say thank you. But Emmanuel Zaza comes back and say, the 99-step ladder starts with one step. The fact that you are 11 years, oh, he's trying to give me some prop here because Chersia Grant been married for 29 years, and my man is trying to give me prop here for 11 years. Lanka said, Jeru, you have aged. Oh, yes, I have aged, my brother. Let me go down to this one coming from Tassawan James Nimbo Blah. He's all the way there in Morocco. He said, this guy is a real troublemaking in our county from his talking. Well, I don't know what his talking means. You're going to respond to that in a little bit. And James said, this guy is a real, he repeats his comment. And this one's coming from Malu Fale. Malu Fale says, I am following from my comfort zone. What is that comfort zone? But it comes to Ato Nanko. I said, you guys selling the land for truth. Well, I don't know what you heard that looks there. The representative selling land. And this one is coming from Emmanuel Zaza's the Honorable Chersia Grant is not helping the situation. He should rather focus on reconciliation than creating more confusion. We're going to come to the Honorable Grant for that. You're going to respond to that. And this one is coming from our angle in Grand Gedeh. They say, what is your intervention in the mysterious disappearance of Alfred Dunham? We'll ask him if he has any role to play in that and how has he in any way helped. One of our illustrious son, Honorable Alfred T. Dunham, has been missing for months now. What has been your intervention with records for justice for him and the affected family? And this one is coming from our uncle. He said, we need to open the line, and definitely we are going to open the line. Mr. Jeru says, Dion Festus Zion says, Mr. Jeru, in opposition now? Question mark. You are not where we are again. All right. So, people just feel like, I would never. All right. We will play a song, and then we will be right back with Honorable Grant. Well, let me see if I can share my screen. and be able to play his song here. I will see if I can do that. Let me see. Well, I want to play some of his song here. We played the first one earlier, and you heard it, so we want to continue to play something else. And what? And while we are playing this here, we want to say, Abraham, get us connected in with the phone system, and then we'll get back to you in a little bit. Okay, so let me go back to, let me see if I can join our, let me see. Somebody is trying to, I think that's our anchor there is trying to call me here. Let me make sure that he's the one. Yes, I think so. He is the one. And let's go to the line in Zwedru, Grand Gedeh County. Go ahead. We are listening.
Go ahead with the question.
They are too low. Let them put their voice up.
Yeah, Fasia, you're too low. So we're not actually getting you here. Let's see whether we can pick up more calls. 080-102-102. 080-102-102-0778-15-24-24. Yeah, welcome.
I want you to repeat the question so I can mark them down so the honorable can respond.
Yeah, the first question has to do with you were accused a few days back due to the mysterious disappearance of Arthur Donald, and since then you have not come down to Grand Gedeh County to speak to the issue, but you're always in Monrovia and not responding to that particular issue.
Okay.
The second question is that he was invited as a keynote speaker on one of the high school graduation here in the county.
Mm-hmm.
After speaking to the people people, he donated a set of jerseys with football. So she also wants so you can respond to that as an educator. To play football on graduation, especially commencement convocation program.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we'll pick up more call 080-102-102. This person, good evening. Yeah, where you come from? Louis Banner, welcome. Let's hear you. The first question has to do with that to do with is for Africa donor. Africa donor got this thing March, and he got this thing in the territory of Honorable Grant. And as a leader, is got this seriously within your territory, you need to claim your attention. But since this young man got missing up to this time, Honorable Grant never entered this county. To say one or two words to the people of Grand Gedeh County. So, you want to tell us, time for campaign is the only time you will come to Grand Gedeh County to campaign. So, how can he, hello? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so how can he justify that the issue of either coming down to the citizen? So, the second question has to do with he Honorable Grant is coming on the CDC in 2023. We've been hearing it at the same time. Right now, we have the information that Honorable Dennis is also coming on the CDC. So, how are they going to do the CDC? The third question. Okay. The third question has to do with right now our position is brought down, and the 1,000 bags of cement and the 10,000 United States dollars is in the possession of the caucus. If I say it's in the possession of the caucus, which means a member of the caucus is possessing this particular money. So, as former secretary, as former chairman for the caucus, what is he doing to get this money out from Honorable Dennis so that our police station can be paid? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 0880-102-102. 0880-102-102. 0778-1524-24. Good evening. Good evening, Abraham Cooper. That is Zana Jala. You're welcome. Thank you very much for the recognition. Let me say good evening to your studio discussant of this time, the impression of Honorable Master Edit. Following his political activities in Grand Gedeh County. Okay. Yeah, so I want to be straight to the point this evening, all right? I'm not too sure that the manner in which Honorable Grant is proceeding is the right way. In the sense that, in as much you are from Grand Gedeh as the lawmaker of Grand Gedeh County, and you always have mindset that you love your county, Grand Gedeh, I don't too sure that the issue of power, especially when it comes to the focus, it should be something to distance yourself away from the developmental activities of Grand Gedeh County. Then you are not serving your county well. Okay. Leaving the seat of being a chairman does not in any way mean that you should distance yourself away from everything that has to do with development in Grand Gedeh County. Referring to a senior colleague of yours, in presence of Honorable George P.S. Bole as a rebel because he fought war before. I'm not sure that you're showing any respect to him. As a leader, and you're behaving, you're going that route, it's not really coming down well with the ordinary citizen of Grand Gedeh County. If whoever preach equity must come with clean hands. Definitely. You just be seeking for power, you already a lawmaker, and then you addressing your fellow police in a kind of form and manner. Me, as the ordinary citizen of Grand Gedeh County, it's not really going down well with me. Thank you. Our leaders, if they are struggling on kind of a path, where do they expect us to learn? Or where do they expect us to learn from? So Honorable Grant needs to put himself in a very better position to address issues that will come or that will be in the best interest of the Grand Gedeh. Looking at developmental activities, you don't have to be a corporate chair or key position holder before you unite the focus. Okay. The way things are going, I'm very sure in my mind, Honorable Grant is one of those who refuse to accept the fact that other people were elected based on the confidence that the Grand Gedeh have in them. The same way they elected him. So he also needs to pay that particular respect to those people and understand that all of them are lawmakers of Grand Gedeh County, so that peace will reign in this county. He is one of those who actually caused a problem with Pina Caucus until he realized that all those people are elected like him. Things will now be the same at the level of the caucus. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think you listen to him.
Yeah, I got it. It's loud and clear. It's loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, this person, good evening. Yeah, good evening, Ibrahim. How are you? Is this Patrick Bayer? Oh, Patrick Bayer, welcome. Yeah, Ibrahim, thank you for the show. Let's hear you quickly, no time. Okay, go straight to the point. We can go to the honorable man also. Well, I have a question to the honorable man. My question to him is, I want to know and I want to ask him, why in Grand Gedeh County, if anything bad takes place, is he always mentioned? Yes, I really want to know. What are you going to ask him? Why? Everything bad that happens, you say anything that my new be mentioned. Sometimes you can sit down and justify and say, why my new always mentioned in bad thing to be precise. The issue of African donor. And up to the time, he has been surfacing, even in child born today. He get two Nina, he just got people calling him. So what do you mean? Gateway? Oh, the gateway, yeah, gateway. That is needed that ranking good money. So if you take that grant, we can't know it again. I think the gateway. Okay. So I want to
what gateway mean? What gateway mean? What gateway mean?
Thank you so much, Patrick.
What gateway mean?
080-102-102, 0778-15-24-24. We'll pick up more calls. We'll get back to Honorable Grant to respond to your questions. This person, good evening.
Yeah, evening was something important.
Sorry, Fasia. Welcome back quickly. Ask your question.
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Jerry.
Yeah.
The last time we were hosting Honorable Error Narration William. Error, there was a talk against any of them. But what is here to learn now? Our honorable talking against the post talk to this and I will be someone who want to show, ask you how you do what is that, how you do so how you get to. My question is
okay, thank you so much, Fasia. 080-102-102, 778-15-24-24. 0778-15-24-24. This person, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ibrahim.
Nia, where you come from?
I'm Koyo Bichuma, from News Record.
Koyo, welcome. Let's hear you, my brother.
Okay, thank you. I want to place a question to the honorable man, Chersia Grant.
Quickly, let's go.
Mr. Chersia Grant, what do you want to serve as Senate in the country?
You say what?
Which county you want to serve as senator in this county?
Which county you want to serve as senator for?
Yeah.
It's Grand Gedeh.
No. The second question is, he extended in a 2-term representation. Before he extended the very first time he did well, and it applaud for example that Grand Gedeh extended him as representative for Baton District.
Okay.
He advocated well. I'm appreciating for the 21 case, man, at the time when you're apprehended by the early government. But then, for this period of time, he is being alleged by the citizens of Grand Gedeh County. When the editors then will come in your own county to pick out the reaction. They say, no, citizens, this is how the situation looks like. It is only on media. You must talk or a better or a one who that you can do for yourself and put it on the issue of Grand Gedeh County.
Thank you.
Abraham, can you hold the person on the line? Abraham, hold the person on the line, please. Abraham, can you hear me? Abraham, can you hear me?
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Abraham, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mr. Jaru.
I wanted you to ask him because the Justice Ministry, the county attorney arrested the sister and other people for being responsible for Alfred Donner. Is he aware of that? And if he's aware of that, why are they still putting it on Chersia Grant if the people who are alleged to be responsible have already been arrested? But anyway, somebody else will bring the question and then you can ask that question for me. Go ahead and pick your course.
Thanks so much. So let's get back to the full line.
We got pick up 3 more calls and then that's it. So can give the honorable chance to respond.
All right, let's get this question. Good evening. Nadia, where you come from? Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, first of all, the honorable man, thank you. And my main concern is that for the hospital, because all our brothers and sisters, they go to the hospital, the everything about that hospital is bad. Nothing on the hospital is free. Even the common hand glove, the people that are using, they can buy including nurses or doctors and treat you. And the whole man make sure the hospital business in this particular topic. So that call make me know.
Hello? Okay, we lost him, I think, harmonization taking off the line. We pick up 2 calls now, then we'll get back to Honorable Grant to respond to your questions. 0880-102-102, 0880-102-102, 778-15-24-24. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
And then where you come from?
I'm Matthew, right, calling on the telephone.
Welcome, let's hear you.
My friend has to do with about the machine, the honorable talk about. I really want to understand why you getting sick about getting cooking bees, talk about concern about our land business, so what are the machine talk about what are the whether you train power or land is about. You really want to understand.
All right. Thank you. So we'll pick up the last quarter and then we will get back to Representative Grant. 0880-102-102, 0778-15-24-24, 0778-15-24-24, 0880-102-102 are the numbers, and to put you through interact with your representative. Representative Chersia Grant is on the line and listening, ask all of the questions, and then he will be able to respond to you before we can close on this edition. 0880-102-102, 0778-15-24-24. The numbers to put you through. Say, okay, so we don't have call for now.
Okay. Yep.
Just leave it like this and leave control.
Let's leave it like that, and then thank you very much, and join us and let me know.
That just to exchange the question quickly.
Yes,
Hello?
go ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying,
yeah, quickly, no time.
Yeah, I was on hospital business. I said so. I want to know because we are later in this country, they are not doing nothing concerning about our hospital.
Okay.
Because our brother and sister, mother, father, everyone they can sleep good on them. They can give our people to count it down, Grossy, Maggie, Leslie, Kevin, Badane. So what our lawmakers doing about the hospital? Because one of the help for our community in this country.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. We will let us know if you join us back live, and then we will have the Honorable Representative to respond to these people. If you are watching, this is let me come for don't do a breach here. If you're watching, my name is Gibson Giroux. All the way here in Brooklyn Park. I left my city this afternoon from Fargo, North Dakota, and I'm in Brooklyn Park. I'm here for a fundraiser for Councilor Tiawanse Gonglo for president. But in the meantime, we have one of our representatives, represented the district number 3, that's Boston District. Honorable Chersia Grant is talking to us, and he has a lot of questions he has to answer. As soon as Abraham can confirm that we are live, we'll go right back to him. Indeed, we are live, and so we go right back to Honorable Grant to respond to some of the questions. But Honorable Grant, there's one question that came more than 4 times. It has to do with the Alfred Donner situation. They said you were accused and you have never gone back to the city or to the county to clear your own name. What do you have to say about this Alfred Donner issue? Are you responsible for Alfred Donner's missing or disappearance?
Thank you, Gibson. You know one thing? I don't like to respond to local kind of things that are baseless.
Okay.
There's a baseless accusation. They got nothing to say. The family wrote their report. Nobody accused me. If you accuse me, put in the writing. Then I know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
Somebody going to and talk something that makes sense that they are going to respond to. I don't respond to local kind of things. The family wrote their complaint. They never mentioned anything about Ellis Grant. Only they saying, and they're not brave enough to write communication to say you did this. So they kind of start off.
Besides that, Alex, recently the county attorney indicted.
I'm coming to that. Don't speak to against it because probably from Boston District you're defending me. The man, when he was going to a sick bridge, I didn't even know Alfred was sick all these years. The only time when Alfred was sick was when Alfred got missing. According to his wife, the tape I got that went viral, when he was going in the bush, he selected his own people of choice that he trusted to go in the bush. His own brothers went with him. Under the law, they are the prime suspects, but they're leaving them and putting politics inside. So I know those are all political detractors. So when they're talking, you can even feel that they're not even making sense to me. I was the first to speak among the caucus. I was the first to contribute money. $60,000 when the people are going to bush to search. But one good thing I know, there are other people that will never praise you until you die and say, yes, that guy was good. I haven't heard any of them commenting or appreciating when the streets were broken, when they were not passing and using one side of the street, when I rehabilitated it. None of them get more to say, we appreciate him for what he did in Zvedru, even though I'm representative for Boston District. None of them have expressed regret that when this guy took to their hooliganism, went in the street, went to my house, tuning my house, and breaking my window. None of them get more to tell me, Honorable, we apologize for the misbehavior of your people. I told them my sister's husband even got missing. How many of them are coming want to say, Honorable, we're sorry for your missing your sister missing husband. Which law says if somebody got missing in the county, all the representatives should come down? We show interest because they are Grand Gedehians. I was the first to send money. How many of them open their mouths to say thank you for even the money you sent? Those people are political detractors, and their detraction is just as next to useless because they're not going to get me. I'm definitely going to win overwhelmingly. I know from which corner they're calling. I know where they got to be calling to respond for their political masters. Your master is nothing politically. I will beat him like he had never been defeated before. Trust me, in Grand Gedeh County, the people know good people. And the good people, they don't talk too much. They listen, and because their minds are made up. One of the detractors you hear, people accusing you. If you sure you're accusing me, right. If you get sense in your head that will put you to me, will not go beyond bars for a good number of years. Right and say I accusing you. Then I know. Because the family wrote a letter and my name was never mentioned. That's the only thing I can talk about. That's legality. But you start talking, you go sit down, you drink free attire, then you say, you politician, they accuse Honorable Grant. You see how they get accused of the law? If you show you brave, go write official complaint. They told you, they asked you in bedroom, whoever have issues, 3 weeks will get you. Write your communication. Write the people you indict, you are accusing, and bring it. Did they write? All of them are asking that kind of baseless and senseless question. Did they write? Think I'm going to give you the political maneuvering? No way. If you're serious, you write.
I want you to respond to something else here about
$10,000. I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming. You know who are the first to ask that same question? Why they can always call your name? That Marshall Dennis when we're in caucus meeting. I said because that's the only way you gain relevance. If you don't try to blackmail me, he went to the school side, he failed because even when it comes to debate, he can't make me. So now the main people do us like all that thing you're talking that briefs. You like it can come make it from 100 years. I will win the senatorial election in Grand Gedeh County because I am a development-oriented person. I believe in Grand Gedeh County. I believe Grand Gedeh, good things can come from Grand Gedeh. And Grand Gedeh County will produce the next capable senator in Honorable Chersia Grant.
Let me ask you, they say Senator Marshall Dennis has $10,000 and he has failed to turn over. Do you know about it?
Well, as far as I know, Senator Marshall Dennis has not returned to the caucus. But yes, he received money, took people money the same way he are taking money from Freeport, Monrovia, and buying 15 horses in Monrovia. Up to now, he said the county committee are not being established. How can you write in the name of Grand Gedeh County and divert the fundings and people are talking about it and you cannot produce them? That the $10,000 you used for what? Return the county money.
Okay, but they say you are not doing anything for Marshall Dennis to return it.
I'm talking about, I even talk about EBC.
Okay.
But the man won't pay the money, he won't bring the money. They're not listening. They want to accuse, they're not listening. People should listen. There have been outcry from people. If there's somebody who really cares about the country, but now he said, my people, your money. But what concerns you? Already know you're going out, so you eat that money and not return.
I want you to use 1 minute to talk about somebody said you call and talk to your colleagues bad. You want to respond to that? And then I will
Who my colleague I talk to bad. Hey, thank you. Somebody said I call Dr. Bole rebel.
Yeah.
If you my co-chairman, and according to legislative practice, the good thing I like about this, you cover the horse for several years. The leader of the caucus has the right to call meeting. Dr. Bole was my co-chair, he had no power legislatively to call meeting. You call meeting behind me and change the government. I don't know what kind of name you give it. If it is not an extension of LPC in the legislature.
Oh God, extension of LPC. Okay, Chersia Grant, I usually do this.
And to add more to that, the Papa call meeting and the only job position he could take, the meeting having a financial chairman there, all of a girl remain power.
Okay, Honorable Grant, I usually do this. I like people to speak the dialect. I'll give you 2 minutes. We got about 4 minutes left. I want you to use 2 minutes to speak your dialect, to tell people why you want to be a senator and what you have done for them, what you're going to do for them.
All right, thank you. I will my blue and number would go. No, we are most away, Ellis Chersia Grant. And one day, and then we say to the Cabin, I know that barely. So I buy a senator. No, you can buy Gramoji can back a senator when I walk your more. I'm more cranky. You are low. You do not don't know where. Say, Senator Nuke, you're putting pipe all the clinics in Grand Gedeh except for Kunabu now. You enter them, I've supplied 22 sets of DSTV to entertain our
patients.
Our patients. Our patients. So why don't you afford go? When I second welcome now, I'm on that legislative handshake. They get the first 15,000. I say the money is intended for development. I went to Grand Gedeh. And then I rehabilitated that street in Zwedru. Today, other people that receive that legislative handshake, have they ever come to you people? Have they been able to do a project that you recognize that these people have the 30,000 they receive from the government for development? Did they anything? Amuji, I come in December. I come with 500 bundles of zinc to get to our old people who don't have zinc, to get a vulnerable group of people, to get the people who need that help. Operation Re-Roof Grand Gedeh County. You think I'm joking? Or you think I'm playing? I come in. I'm not running from Grand Gedeh. I represent Grand Gedeh County. And when I come, there must always be change in the life of our people. We came here to serve our people. We didn't come here to generate wealth for ourselves. We didn't come here to raise money to feed and send our children to America. All my children are here. Those who are with me in Grand Gedeh County that you know, they are here because I'm here to honestly serve the interests of Grand Gedeh County. Grand Gedeh is bigger than all of us. In closing, I have fought for reconciliation. Nobody can reconcile Grand Gedeh more than me. The first thing, my wife is from Nima County. That tells you the kind of heart I get for reconciliation. I don't know how many of you get married to Nimayans, but I am married to Nima County woman. I married her before the war, after the war, we stayed together. That is the spirit of reconciliation. I don't know how many of you can exercise that. So I'm a reconciler. I don't keep things to my heart. And that's why I see I always look handsome, reflecting, shining, even when I was still a classroom teacher in multilateral. Many of you know me. So reconciliation is my quest above everything else. The monga baye do ye wa point den which gonna wo mo nyu satre mo nyino ye mo mo nuwa e ma Grand Gedeh nya po e ne ko de we oblige go e ye blale mo we ne po mo nyu satre mo po den we ne po gesi ye nyu satre ke because wo nuwa go wa jge wa wuru ala wo mo nwa wuru e krebe mo afon we Debora, you saw point already. Possessed bonum, possessed go say representative winning person. Yeah, near that we be a can representative where I'm winning do they because don't go that guy we are the one where G1 where Jerry by you monje are the only Nigerians who are worn on white ballot to represent Liberia to the Pan-African Parliament and have performed outstandingly. So I mean, we are up to the task. I hit the ground running because of my previous international service positions. And now that I have served 12 years, I am really rep, to handle Grand Gedeh at the Senate and to produce successes and fruits that are worth imitating for Grand Gedeh County. I can assure you I'll be in Grand Gedeh. I have no limitation, but I'm here to represent Grand Gedeh and I'm here for purpose. Thank you so much. God bless us. And Gibson, I'm always available. If you want to challenge me, sometimes if I have the time to, I will also call you, even though they say you're opposition to CDC, but we are better. That is contestation ideas. It's not physical contestation. So we can move together. We can always
they are opposition now, right?
No, that's what they say, but I don't say so.
We bring you over to Gonglo Support. We bring you to what?
Oh, and we come out the way. And we come on the side. Thank you. Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's Chersia Grant. Thank you, and bye-bye for now. All right, thank you very much. That was Chersia Grant. Okay, that was Chersia Grant there. We're out of time. And so for me to respond to Fasia, I don't respond to, I don't tell people what to say here. Everybody has their own way of talking. Everybody has their own way of responding to questions. Everybody has their own way of dealing with issues. My job here is to interview them so you will know them from who they are. Whether they are good, whether they are bad, the judgment is yours. My job is to make them to talk the way they want to talk from their heart. And that is exactly what I've done. So I make sure they speak from their heart. I make sure they speak with honesty. I make sure I ask them questions that I want to ask them and allow you to ask a question. So the interviewer, they say, do not shoot the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just a messenger. Kill the message, the developer. Thank you very much. Thank you, AB. Thank you, Flash FM family. Thank you, Grand Gedeh. Thank you, Zwedru. And this is Gibson. I'm saying bye-bye for now. Thank you.